is he?
Forsen is running Black. Actually, Forsen's
He is running
warrior's
Black.
a little bit. It's a little bit more equipped to fight something like this. It's got the Black Knight. It's got the Faceless like usual, but yeah, the Black Knight definitely helps because
Yeah,
the
Black
it's
Knight
always going to
will
have
help
it.
out Forsen a lot, but
Yeah, it
like I
would be
said,
nice to have the Kor'krons and that sort of thing to really pressure, but he doesn't have any of those things. And Ekop, like you said, is probably favored. This Druid deck is built to beat Handlock and late game Warrior.
yeah, he's got like the double big game hunters deal with both Rag and Baron Geddon or Rag and
Alexstrasza,
Alexstrasza.
exactly.
You've got giant haunters. Pretty much any minion that Ek0p plays actually just trades one for one with Geddon at worst.
Yeah. And again, Forsen knows what this deck is. So he's going to try to play appropriately. I think what he's going to do is he's going to try to be as patient as possible. Like it's going to be about being as cost efficient with every single one of your sealed slams and obviously executes too.
Yeah.
I don't see him trying to execute Druid of the Claws. He's going to need to save those things for Ancient of Wars and I mean Cenarius is probably going to come out, so he's going to need to brawl for Cenarius, and they're going to have to line up like that too. Unfortunately for him.
Yeah, but one of the difficulties of playing against Druid is, let's say Ek0p doesn't draw into Wild Growth. If he just like innervates out a Druid of the Claw on turn 3, Forsen might not really. Well, I guess if he hasn't done his homework, he might not know what it is. But he has to be feeling pretty bad about this, just because those shield slams are going to need to kill
That's true.
ancients and stuff.
But if there's anything that he wants, it's this kind of start right here. Get an Armorsmith down, get a Frotling Berserker down. Hope he doesn't have a Swipe or even a Wrath, but unfortunately he does. But I think this is the kind of start he needs, though, just to get something on the board to help
Yeah.
him move at least the mid range units that Ekop has in his hand.
Yeah, this is a pretty ideal start for, or ideal response for Ek0p.
Yeah,
He didn't get the wild growth, but he does have a swipe for the frothing berserker, which can cause enormous problems if it but too big. And we do see a lot of pain and one for force. So it could have
yeah.
been a very large berserker very quickly.
Ekop's sitting on an Innervate too, so he's going to be able to get that Ancient of Lore or Ancient of War down, depending on what he wants to do. I think he'll probably opt for an Ancient of Lore first, just to get the draw. But that's going to be next turn. Forsen sitting on that Armorsmith, but he's not able to do much this turn. So I think he's just going to go ahead and armor up here. And he's not in good shape. He does have some removal, so it's kind of it's Ekop's turn now to really start making plays with the big minions, and Forsen's gonna have to respond to it with a lot of the cards he has in his hands. He has an execute. Hopefully he can. I think he's hoping to get the shield slam high enough so that he can remove some things like this Ancient Allure. He'll be able to use the shield slam on this Ancient Allure.
Yeah, but he's also got a couple of pretty dead cards that Cleave isn't going to do a whole lot.
Right.
He's already lost one of his acolytes, so those whirlwinds are not necessarily stranded, but they're not going to be fantastic either.
Cleave could help out with Cenarius, but you gotta wait a long
that's
time before
about
you
it.
play that thing. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and remove the Ancient Allure, and that's about it. He's gonna pass the turn after that. Ekop's gonna be looking at a turn 6. Doesn't have too much. He might play the Black Knight, honestly. Because there's usually not a target.
Well, he has Mark of the Wild as well.
Yeah, he's Mark of the Wild too, and there is not a target in the Warrior deck for a taunt. So,
But now that's an 8 mana Yeti that kills anything for an extra card, so he's
right.
going to hold on to that Black Knight for something like Baron Geddon or Ragnaros.
Okay, so Forsen drew his second execute. Really important that he has all of those executes and shield slams. And he's gotten 3 of them now. He's got the 2 whirlwinds too to really initiate them. So I don't think you can ask for too much better for Forsen through this period of the game where we're going to start seeing the Ancient of Wars. We're going to start seeing just a lot of the bigger units here. If he can weather this, he might be able to just to be able to get at least even with this matchup here.
The big problem is Ek0p has a big game hunter and a Black Knight / Mark.
Yeah.
And so any big threat that Forsen gets is not going to stick, and he has
Yes.
no pressure on the board. So E0p's just going to start dropping giant monsters. And in this matchup, you really don't want to be the one that's reactive.
Right. Okay, for E0p's or Forsen's just gonna go ahead and armor up there, and lots of goodies for E0p. What is he gonna choose to do? He's gonna start out with the Ancient of Lore. Looks like. Nope. Actually, he's gonna.
I think he had to
Yeah,
maybe
there we
recount
go.
his hand just to make sure he wasn't going to burn a card next turn.
It's always good to make
But,
sure. He's gonna draw the 2 cards, and good. It's a good draws from E0p though. I mean, Karen is always difficult for a warrior to remove. Gorehowl is the best way to remove the Karen, quite honestly. So he's going to take some damage here, Forsen that is, and we're going to stay on E0p's perspective just for a little bit, having some issues with Forsen's point of view right now. But E0p's going to lead off with that Karen, and Forsen again is going to have to deal with it with the Gorehowl, and I don't know if he has anything else in his hand that can really that he wants
might
to
even
use.
just Mark of Nature this to put it out of range of the Gorehowl.
Oh, you think so? Okay, that would be a great play, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we do see that Forsen has a slam, so it won't actually make a difference. But you know, in Druid versus Control Warrior, you do have to feed the Gorehowl, but you want to make it kind of as inefficient as possible,
True.
just whenever you can.
And I think if you can create a situation where you have the warrior have to use an execute on a Karen too, that's really bad for him, especially with this type of Druid deck. A 5/10, there's nothing you can do with it except for like an execute. Okay,
But,
so we're gonna hang out with
Is he gonna
Forsen's point of view
execute the
here.
Bane?
That's gonna be really bad for him if he has to
Please don't
execute
execute
this.
the Bane.
He could take 4 damage too, so this could be a mistake here if he does that.
Yeah, I think the most likely way for Forsen to win is going to be some kind of Alex Straza play, and then basically try to 2-turn it with
Yeah,
Alex
Rom
Straza
or
and
something
then
crazy
weapon
like that.
Rom. But
Mhm.
I mean, E0p has a healing touch and a big game hunter, so it's not going to be very likely that Forsen is going to just have that 2-turn burst combo kill that might actually have been his best way to win otherwise.
So many answers in E0p's hand right now. I think he's probably holding on to that Black Knight. I have a feeling he's not going to use it proactively with the Mark of Wild, just in case Forsen ends up facelessing the Ancient of War. Just an easy way to get rid of that.
He might use it proactively, but if he does, it's going to be to kill something that's more important than an Ancient of War.
Mhm.
Probably something like Ragnaros. And I would expect to see E0p double drop here. Just go Senjin and Druid of the Claw. You can even charge the Druid of the Claw, just get in some damage right now. Clear
Yeah.
out that armor. But
More pressure is going to be good. It's going to force him to use some of these answers that he doesn't want to on these.
Yeah.
These
and
units
we
here.
do see that charge. So Forsen, not a great, not a great way to deal with E0p's stuff. It does have an Alex though, that will live for about 2/3 of a second.
Yep. Well, 2/3 of a second. That's pretty fast.
I mean, I expect that
very
to die
fast.
very quickly to a big game hunter, especially because E0p also has, he still has that fallback, Black Knight and Mark combination.
Yeah. He's thinking about faceless.
Oh, actually, it looks like looks like he's thinking about making 8/8 first, and then BGH. But that might be a little bit dangerous because that actually puts him in ROM range. If he just goes faceless BGH.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh no, wait, the Gorehowl shrank to 4 anyways, so I guess that wouldn't put him in faces or into Grom range, but I don't know. I feel like there's going to be better targets to faceless down the road. And BGH, maybe Ancient of War in taunt mode would maybe be the way to go.
He's going with Mark of the
Oh.
Wild. Okay, so he is gonna go. Oh, he's gonna
Wow.
BGH.
Okay.
Okay, so he is aggressive.
Okay.
We did say he was
That's,
aggressive, and he's definitely aggressive
yeah.
in this move here. And that's a good move,
That's a
actually.
really aggressive play.
Yeah, it's. I mean, how is Forsen gonna deal with this? He's got one execute left. He does have a cleave that could help out.
I think Whirlwind, Execute, Cleave, hit. Let's see, 1, 2, 4. Whirlwind, Execute, Cleave, attack with the Gorehell, armor, and draw.
He needs to cleave to hit right, though. Oh yeah, I guess you lead off with the execute.
No,
so
you,
the
you
cleave
lead
hits
with the
right.
Execute.
Yeah, and then you can swing at that, and you'll be down to lethal range with almost lethal. Oh no, he will be down to lethal range with
7 armor.
let's see.
Yeah, he'll be down to 10 life.
Yeah, the life total is a little. It's hard for me to make out the life total there. Okay, it's he's gonna go lead with the
Looks like he's
task.
gonna-
Remove.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably gonna cleave and hit and use a task instead of the Whirlwind. I think that's actually, maybe that's better. He gets a 2/2 on the board.
Shield blocks. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, shield block and armor up.
So he's back up to 10 and out of lethal range. Ek0p's got some good plays here, though. I mean, even in Ancient of War is
He
something
does
that
draw,
he draws a Grom.
double
I-
range.
he might have to remove an Ancient of War with his Grom though here.
Yeah, I mean he's out of executes. His shield slam, it could get up to 10, but it's not going to get up to 10. As soon as he takes any more damage, so
I think Ancient of War and healing is probably the play here.
yeah, I think so too. It seems like a pretty safe way to play. He knows Forsen doesn't have any more kind of healing effects other than armor up. He doesn't have that faceless anymore, or he doesn't have any more executes, and yeah, I mean, only way to lose the game is get charged out. I think. Alex Strauss is gone,
Yep.
and well, Forsen actually does draw a shield slam, which is a way to deal with
Shield Slam. It does. He can actually whirlwind hero power shield slam that, which is huge for him.
Yeah.
I think that he's still in a bit of trouble, but at least he's going to be able to deal with, in theory, both Ancient of Wars now.
Yeah, but trading Grom for an Ancient of War is not the exactly.
It's
what
not
you wanna
good, but
be.
I mean, what else? I mean, he's going to be in desperate times here, I think, unless he draws a. He still has his Black Knight, right?
Yeah, he still has a Black Knight,
A Black Knight would
and he
be
still has his
huge.
Big Game Hunter, but the Big Game Hunter doesn't actually have that many targets.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything against
So
like an Ancient of War at all. So,
yeah,
there's a Ragnaros
that
from
does something against
Ek0p.
Ragnaros.
Yep.
Ek0p's still gonna
Ek0p's
swipe,
though.
play the Senjin, and then probably poke for one. I think he might actually
He might
do
wild
Wild
growth.
Growth to draw first.
Yeah. Whoa, he's
Yeah.
gonna go with the
It's just
Black
gonna
Knight?
play a Black Knight.
Hmm.
No, that doesn't make sense. Come on, Ek0p. All right.
Yeah, I think the Singe is a better play. Even if Forsen does draw a Black Knight, it would draw that out instead of allowing him to use it on that Ancient of War.
Yeah, and Forsen's in quite a bit of trouble.
He's got a Faceless now.
Yeah, he
Oh
can
my gosh.
throw down Grom, kill the Senjin with Grom Whirlwind, I guess.
This could be an
Yeah, he's
interesting
def-
sequence here, actually, because I'm pretty sure Grom's coming down here. Grom goes up, and what does Ek0p have? Is he going to YOLO rag that? I mean, what is he... If he doesn't remove Grom, then you've got an interesting situation for Forsen with the Faceless Manipulator. Alright,
Yeah.
so...
Forsen actually might steal this game if Ek0p
Well-
doesn't either deal with Grom or throw up some taunters.
Well, if he YOLO rags here, he could die, right? 50-50 to die, to have lethal with the YOLO rag here. But if he hits If he hits the Grom, then Forsen can faceless the faceless the Rag, and then we can have some fun Rag action like we did yesterday.
Yeah, I
Look at
mean,
those
I
cards
guess
that Ek0p
Ecop's
has. So
just gonna
good.
throw down Rag, but yeah, actually with that big game hunter, this is just super safe. I mean,
Yeah.
he kills Grom or he kills Forsen.
And he hits the face, and Ek0p takes the series 3-2. Forsen was trying to hang in there, but Ek0p still had some answers in, or still some huge cards in his hand. Just a really bad matchup for that warrior there. And Ek0p moves on